This video will demonstrate how to edit a project in Movavi. The Movavi software can do a lot of different things, anything from editing video to audio to burning DVDs and lots of other things with burning data to disks. The primary function for this class is you'll be using Movavi to edit video. So when you first open up Movavi, you'll be presented with this dashboard of a place to select what you would like to do with the software. So we're just going to leave it on the video tab and we're going to choose edit video. When Movavi opens up, if you're ever asked to update or upgrade, just click close. But for this example, it's going to ask you what type of video project you would like to create. Do you want an older 4:3? For this class, we're never going to use this format. You will always use the newer 16:9 ratio. So leave it on this widescreen ratio. After you've selected that, go ahead and click OK. So this is the basic layout of your video editor in Movavi. The first thing we need to do is add some files to our video project. So up here on my import window, you can see I'm on the import tab. I'm going to click add files. And to begin, I need to navigate from and find my group and project folder. So I'm going to go over to videos, find my group folder, and then find my project folder. Again, all of my files for this project should be contained inside this single project folder. When I open up that project folder, so I'm going to start with my first video file and click open. You can see as soon as I add media files, it automatically places them on my video editor timeline. What this allows me to do is now to begin editing. So if I click once on this video file, you can see how it's highlighted in yellow. And no matter where I move my scrubber, so this is my scrubber which tells me where I'm at on that video, you can see that my preview window will begin showing me where that scrubber is at. The other thing I want you to notice is your timeline. This timeline will tell you how far along on the video you are. So you can see that this particular video lasts just under 30 seconds. And right now, my video is right at about 5 seconds. So what I'm going to do is move my scrubber all the way back here to the beginning. I can do one of two things. Number one, I can hit play on my preview window. Or I can also use the space bar on my keyboard to play and pause the same way. So this is a really handy feature to get used to using your space bar because it's a quick and easy way to play and pause that video without always having to reach back and click on your play button on that preview. So let's look at making some basic video edits. So I don't want this whole 30-second video clip. So let's say that my video is about horses. So I've got a section here with horses, and then I have some birds, some walruses, some more birds, and some other random animals. So I only want this section here, and I've got about 3 or 4 seconds of horse video. The rest of this I want to edit out. So one thing I can do is I can move back here to the beginning, hit play, and then I press the space bar to pause it. Now you can see I've gone past my horse scene, so I can use my arrows with the line right here. This will move it back 1 frame at a time. So I can click these several times until I get back to where my horses are at. Right there. So I want to basically take this video clip and I want to cut it into 2 pieces. So I'm going to use my scissors to take that one long clip and clip it into 2. Now the rest of this video clip is all just other random animals. So let's say I do want maybe this last part here with these seagulls on the beach. Again, what I can do is I can use the scissors to cut this clip into 2. Otherwise, I can also go to the beginning of this video clip, and you can see how my arrow changes from a single pointer to the double arrows. If I click that, what I can do is I can move this, and it's trimming the beginning of this video clip. And again, I want to find right when those birds come on. So right about here. I can do the same thing with the end of my clip. So I want just this little section of birds in here. So I can move over here, and again, look for my double arrows, click and drag that till I'm back to the bird scene. And now I've got two video clips which will go from my horses and then cut into the birds. Alright, so now with these two little video clips, let's say that I have another video that I want to bring into this. So I'm going to click Add Media Files. This was the first one I brought in, and now let's bring in this second one. I'm going to click Open. And what this video track has on it are some news clips. So let's just pretend that this news clip is about animals. So they're going to come on here, begin talking a little bit. I don't think for real, I don't think that they're talking about animals, but let's just pretend that they are. And we're going to go until right about here, where we're going to pretend like then they're switching over to talking about animals. So let's just maybe say right about there. That's where I want to cut and introduce my animals. So on this video clip, I'm going to back up here till right about there, right when it gets really bright. I'm going to use my scissors. That cuts this long clip into two. And now I'm going to fast forward all the way to the end of this video where my two news anchors again are talking and maybe finishing up that video clip. So right about there. Again, I'm going to take that, it's highlighted in yellow, I'm going to split that by using my scissors. Now I want to take this middle part that I don't want to use. I'm going to take that and just delete it. So you can see I have my introduction here, I've got the closing, and then the animals that I want here in the middle. So I need to change the order of this a little bit. I can do that simply by clicking and dragging this video clip to the beginning. Now I've got my horses, my birds, and then the closing scene. Well, right now this video clip goes from the news, showing the animals, to the birds, and then into the closing. So right now you can hear the music on these animal clips, and let's say I don't want that music in there. So what I can do is you'll notice that when I click on the clip, both the video and the audio are in yellow. So right now if I were to hit delete, it's going to delete this entire audio and video clip. So I don't want to do that, so I'm going to undo that. I'm just using Control-Z to undo that. But if I just want to get rid of just the music, I'm going to click the bottom part of this video, and now you can see just the audio is highlighted in yellow. So now I can hit delete on that, and I'll do the same thing here for the bird section. Delete that. So next, when you move from one clip to another clip, you'll notice that it switches right from the horses right to the birds. So that's just a straight cut. Sometimes you'll want to add a nice transition there. So the next tool we're going to talk about here are transition tools. Just like in PowerPoint or Google Slides, you can transition from one image to another image with some type of either fade or spin or blur. Make sure that whenever you use these transitions that you're selecting ones that match your video. Don't just throw in transitions just to add in a different feature. Make sure there's a purpose for your transition. So the most common one is to use a straight fade. So we're going to use a crossfade in between our horses and our birds. So I'm just going to click and drag that down right in between my two clips, And now you'll see that it's going to go from the horses and fade into the birds. Alright, so right now what I have here is I have my intro, horses, a transition, birds, and then the closing. But right now I've got this gap where there's no audio. So I want to take the talking piece that's happening right here, and I want to fill in the audio underneath the animal scene. So I need to take my audio portion here, and I'm going to pull it down into the audio track right underneath here. What this is going to allow me to do is it's going to allow me to stretch out my audio without affecting my video clip.
CBS 5 was the first television station in Northern California to go on the air, and since the late 40s, we have been...
The last thing is that I may want to add a title. So the next title or next feature I have here on this tab is to click Titles. And you'll see you have a lot of different styles of titles to use. I'm just going to use, we'll just do a basic one here, a simple ending title. And or actually let's do a scroll up, kind of like we're doing credits. So I'm going to put this title at the very end. And if I put it at the very end, you'll see it's just going to have a black background. If I double click, I can open up the editing portion of this title, and then that'll give me this preview. And I'm just going to say the end. Hit enter a couple times and say thanks. Alright, so now if I were to play that title, it's going to fade. Here we've got the end and thanks. Now, if I move it at the end and I have it on this same video track, again, I'm going to have this black background. If I want to overlay it over the top of this video, I can just simply take this title and I'm going to move it up to this title track up on top. And again, you can think about this being layers. If this is on top of my video, that means I'm going to see the words on top of my video like it shows right here. And now I can just simply place that and trim that however long I want it to last.
I hope this gives you an idea of what it takes to put on a newscast.
So the very last thing I want to do is that if you would want to place some background music onto this video track, you can see I have an audio track down here which is just blank. So I need to go back to my Import tab, click Add Media Files. Here's my MP3 file. I'm going to click and choose Open. I want to move this down to my audio track, but for whatever reason, this particular MP3 also came with a video track along with it. So what I want to do is I want to separate those two. So I'm going to move this audio down here and get rid of the video portion. And now I'm just going to move my audio here to the beginning, or my music. And again, I'm going to want that to fade here at the end with my video. So I'm going to move my scrubber right to the end here. My MP3 is selected in yellow, so I'm going to choose Cut. It's going to cut my music. I'm going to click on the back half of that music and hit Edit. And now if I wanted, I could scrub and move this so that it locks there with the end of my video. So now, when I move this to the beginning, I should have some background music playing underneath my video. Alright, so the problem with this right now is the fact that my music is too loud and I can't hear the audio up above here. So to fade this out a little bit, what I can do is double click on the music file down here, and that gives me some editing tools up on top. My volume's at 100%, again, for the music, because that's what's highlighted in yellow. So I'm going to just take that and bring it down to about 50%.
Behind the scenes, you'll find many other hard-working.
Now, more than likely, when you're editing a project, you're not going to finish this in one class period. So it's going to be very important when you're done editing to save your project. So I'm going to go up to File, Save Project As. And again, I'm going to locate my videos, locate my group folder, and then locate my project folder. My project folder, then, I'm going to name this Demo Project, or whatever the name of your project is, but I always like to put the word project at the end to remind me that this is my editing project file. And I'm going to click Save. Now what you'll notice here is inside your project folder is that we have the original video files that we imported, we have our MP3 file that we also imported, and now that we've saved our project, we now have our demonstration project. Again, you can see what that video icon, that project icon looks like that Movavi creates. This video demonstrated how to edit a project in Movavi.